Lord, as we seek to live in the shadow of the cross, as people shaped by Christ, we pray that you would give us the heart that we need to follow. Give us the mind that we need to understand your path. And give us your dreams, Lord, that we might truly be those who live for Christ. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, I have a number of dreams, a number of things that are important to me, things that God has placed in my heart that really matter. They're things that I truly value and things that I seek to build my life around. And I suspect that you all do too. One of those is my kids and being a father to my kids. And that's a really important piece of life for me. And so I spend a lot of time doing stuff with them. And it's interesting, I've discovered that a number of the things that I do with my kids are typically, and I don't know how this can be, they're typically the mom's job. I don't know why they are typically the mom's job, but for some reason they seem to be. And I will every now and then find myself in a situation where I'm there with one of the kids, and it's me and the moms. And I'll look around, and at some point I realize I'm actually the only dad here, and I'm not sure how that came to be. Sometimes that's fine. Other times, you catch those mom looks, and they're like, what is that guy doing here? And I'll feel myself being kind of set on the outside as this guy who's a bit of an anomaly for some reason. What's he doing here? Why is he doing mom's job? And in those moments I'll find myself, you know what? I need somebody to support fatherhood. I need somebody who will show people that the dad should be as involved in their kids' lives as mom should be. And I really need somebody who's gonna be a champion for fathers. And I want somebody to do that. That saying, when you're pointing at one personality, you got however many other fingers pointing back at you, right? I want someone else to do it. But the reality is, and something that's important to me, is that's part of my dream. It's also part of my call to be a champion for that. To be someone who says, hey dads, this is what fatherhood looks like. It's not just taking your kids fishing, it's being involved in their life on a day-to-day basis. It's being involved in bedtime and meals and all of these things. And I think that we all have that experience in one area of our life or another. And it may not have anything to do with being a parent for you all. But there are times in your life when you see things going on and you think somebody needs to stand up and say something. Somebody needs to be a champion. Somebody needs to argue in favor of and support that this is important and this is meaningful. And where is that person? If you've ever done that, I'm here to tell you today where that person is. You're wearing their clothes. This is what it means to have a dream. It means that you are called to be a champion for that. So, for example, if you are called to be a champion for grammar, you might want to talk to the pastor after worship today about his missing in this point. Anybody notice that? Go ahead. Sorry about that. And I copied the slide over and over again, so it's going to be missing all the way through. Sorry. As you get passionate about the things in your life that you're passionate about, whatever they are, you're called to be a champion for that. You're called to talk about it. You're called to support it. You're called to be an advocate for those things so that they will come to pass. Now, the important piece of this is recognizing the things that are God's dreams. And I'm going to give you a very simple way to think about that as we talk today, because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. But that simple idea is this. Jesus said there are two great commandments. Anybody remember? Love with all your heart, soul, and mind, and strength. Love your neighbors yourself. So, love. If the dream in your heart, the thing you want to see come to pass, if it is loving, it's from God. Okay? If it's loving, it's from God. God is love, John tells us. So if you have this desire for something to come to pass and it is a loving thing, then you can say, hey, this is from God, and you can run with it, okay? We good? God's dreams, loving things. All right. Here's what I want to do. I want to read to you from Luke chapter 10. And this is a passage that I've probably preached on as many times as I've preached on any passage in Scripture. But I want you to look at it from a little different perspective. We normally think about this from Mary's perspective, or think about it from Martha's perspective. I want you to think about this from Jesus' perspective as we read this story. As Jesus and the disciples continued on their way to Jerusalem, you remember we're going on a journey with Jesus here. We're following him as he goes to Jerusalem. As Jesus continues on his way to Jerusalem, he and his disciples come to a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet listening to what Jesus taught. But Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. She came to Jesus and said, Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me. But the Lord said to her, my dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken from her. Now, we often talk about this distinction between being a Mary and being a Martha. And the idea in this is that one of them is right and one of them is wrong. I don't want us to think in that perspective today. I want us to think in the perspective of Jesus, because as people who follow Jesus, there are always going to be folks like Mary, folks like Martha in our lives as we seek to live out God's dreams. So, let me tell you what the Marys are like. They're the people that when you say, hey, God has given me this call to go and to help the hospital, and I think it's something that's really important, and they're gonna sit down and say, well, tell me more about that, Jim. Why is that important to you? What's going on with that? So why is that important to you?
You know, there are a lot of this.
Yeah. As somebody who's spent a decent amount of time in hospitals, I can tell you it makes a world of difference if you don't know where you're going to have someone help you figure out where you're going. So those are the Marys. They're the people who are interested in our call. They want to hear about it. They want to support us. They want to learn from what God is doing in our lives. On the other side, we've got our Marthas. And Marthas do things a little differently. When the Marthas hear about your call, they say, well, that's great and fine and good, but let me tell you what we've got going on over down the street at the club. And I've got this thing I'm planning, and I've got this event, and I need your help, and I need you to bring 3 of your closest friends, because when we all get together, then we're going to be able to do this thing that's really important to me, and it's going to be a great event, and so come on, we're going to go do this thing that's really important to me, and then y'all get those people in your lives? Now, those aren't bad things. What the Marthas in our lives are trying to do. She's making a meal here for Jesus. That's a pretty good thing to do, right? The challenge is, he's got got to stay focused on the dream God has given him. It's really easy to let the people like Martha kind of take us off course. Because they sound really convincing, don't they? They're really persuasive. And I know I've done it. I've said, well, of course I'll come be a part of that, before I even stop to think, hey, that means I've got to give up doing what God's called me to do. Jesus' words here, they're pretty firm, aren't they? Let's go back and read this again. The Lord said to her, my dear Martha, he's not mad at her, he's not angry at her. You are worried and upset over these details. There's only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her. Jesus is saying, don't be so worried about food. Here's the mission. Here's what God has sent me to do. It's to teach. It's to proclaim the good news. It's to head towards Jerusalem. I'm not going to tell Mary to get up and go help you, because sharing with her the gospel is why I'm here. It's my mission. Now, does that mean maybe our meal will not be ready on time, or maybe we're having cold cuts tonight instead of fried chicken? Maybe so. Jesus wanted the focus to be on the dream God had put into his heart, the call that God had for him. And so, when God has given you a dream, right, Amanda? We're called to be champions for that. And that may mean some uncomfortable conversations where someone says, hey, I really want you to come volunteer for this thing, and you say, I can't. Because I'm going to go be a dad then. Or I'm going to be at the hospital. Or I'm going to be working with the food bank. Or I'm going to be with a bunch of teenagers doing home repair in Danville. There's things that I have to say no to. This is the reality of life. If you haven't discovered this yet, you will in spades. You get 24 hours of each day. And that means you've got to say no to some good things so that you can do the God things. The things that God has called you to do. As I was reading through this story about Mary and Martha, it reminded me of a story that we've just been studying on our Wednesday night Bible study on Acts. And it's this story from Acts chapter 6. Such a good church story. I figure I'll share it here. This is what Luke is the author of both Luke and Acts. It's a 2-volume work. So Luke wrote this in Acts. As the believers multiplied rapidly, there were rumblings of discontent. The Greek-speaking believers complained about the Hebrew-speaking believers, saying that their widows were being discriminated against in the daily distribution of food. So the 12 called a meeting of all the believers. They said, we apostles should spend our time teaching the Word of God, not running a food program. And so, brothers, select 7 men who are well-respected and full of the Spirit and wisdom. We will give them this responsibility. Then we apostles can spend our time in prayer and teaching the Word. Everybody liked this idea. So they chose the following: Stephen, a man full of faith in the Holy Spirit; Philip, Prochorus, Nicanor, Timian, Parmenius, and Nicholas of Antioch, an earlier convert to the Jewish faith. These 7 were presented to the apostles, who prayed for them and laid their hands on them. And so God's message continued to spread. The number of believers greatly increased in Jerusalem, and many of the Jewish priests were converted too. So, there's a problem, right? There's a daily distribution of food, and that is given to the widows. At this time, being a widow basically had no resources. And widows were pretty much completely dependent on the community for taking care of them. And so there were 2 groups. There were the Greek-speaking Jews, and there were the Hebrew-speaking Jews. And there was a division. The Greek-speaking widows were not getting taken care of well enough. And so they came to the apostles. This is the ones who were Jesus' 12 disciples, they came to him and said, people are hungry. They're not getting food. And the apostles said, yeah, that doesn't matter. Is that right? No, they didn't say it doesn't matter. What they did say is, that's not our calling. That's not where we're supposed to focus on. So let's find people who should be doing that ministry. And that's where we get these 7, Stephen and the rest, who are appointed specifically to that ministry because their dream was to make sure that people were getting hungry, people were getting fed. And so the apostles, they went back to prayer and preaching. The 7, the deacons, that's where the term deacon comes from, is this story actually, focused on the ministry God had called them to. The apostles had to say no, but in them saying no, somebody else was equipped and gifted in order to fulfill that ministry. And so that's the two sides of this. By one person saying no, we can then say, you know what? But maybe you should talk to Joe. Maybe you should talk to, because that sounds like it's right up their alley. The beauty of what happens as we do this is that we end up spending our time and our energy on those things that feed our souls, those things that encourage us and strengthen us and build us up. And as we do that, we want to do that more. We want to pour our energy into that because it's something that's important to us. Now, for those of you who laughed when I said you have a Martha in your life who drags you into stuff, you know that when you get dragged into something you don't really want to be doing, very rarely does that end up being a good experience. It kind of drains you. Makes you think, boy, I don't really want to be a part of this thing. But when you're doing something that touches your call, that touches those dreams in your heart, you find God in it. You find strength in it. You find encouragement in it. The thing is, when we're in a church that's filled with people who are living out the dreams that God has given them, it becomes a very vibrant place. It becomes a very energized place, and a very excited place, a place where people are constantly going around and saying, hey, God's called me to do this thing, and it's so exciting. Do you think that lines up with your dream? And how can we do this together? The energy just grows. Paul talks about it as the body of Christ, because he recognizes that, well, one person's calling is kind of like a pinky finger, another person's calling is like a thumb, someone else's calling is a bit like a foot. And when you put all those together, God manages just somehow to create a whole body. Because God knows what we need to be the church. And so as each one of us hears the dreams of God and follows after those, when we come together, we become this completed thing called the church. It's truly beautiful. So my hope for you and my encouragement for you is that you would listen to those dreams and you'd find ways to step out in them. You wouldn't be embarrassed of the things God has called you to. I know for me, there was a time in my life where I felt like a real dream from God, a real calling from God should involve moving overseas and giving up everything and probably being arrested and thrown in jail, if not tortured for being a Christian. That's what a real calling is like. Or maybe it's something like Mother Teresa, where she moved to Calcutta and she spent her time with people who were dying and were the least and the most forgotten people. There was a woman who went to see Mother Teresa once who said, I want to work with you here in Calcutta. And she said, no, you go find your own Calcutta. Go find that place where God has called you. Because it's different for each one of us. Don't ever be ashamed of the calling God has given you. Whether it's to your family, whether it's to your local church, whether it's to your community, whether it's to the hospital or the food bank. be a champion for that. And when we all do it,